Let's talk about Florida. Walter Clayton is held without a basket for 28 minutes. I mean, the best guard in college basketball. They would not let him breathe. He could not get open. They banged him all over the place. He could not score. And then what he did in about the final 6 minutes of the game was amazing. 11 points, 5 boards, 7 assists. What changed was Florida bigs, who at one point looked so timid, not willing to shoot the basketball. The Florida bigs took over that game in the second half. Florida's big men combined for 20 points and 40 rebounds in that game as they came back to beat the University of Houston. And for Houston, that's a legitimate question. Did those kids choke, or was Kelvin Sampson just flat out coached? I watched the sideline in the final 16 seconds, the final possession of that game, John. Kelvin Sampson stood there at midcourt with his arms folded. They never called a play to run. They gave the ball to his star guard, L.J. Cryer. He did not make anything happen. He did not push the ball up the floor. He did not try to penetrate and dish. He did not find an opening. They did not run any screens to get him open to take a three. This guy has carried them with big shot after big shot through the course of postseason play. They just did not attack. And Houston unraveled. I mean, Houston owned Florida early. Houston wound up with 19 fouls and 9 turnovers. Houston went 9 possessions in a row with all that talent, got no baskets. You know, there was one stretch, there were 3 turnovers in a minute. Another stretch, their bigs had 4 fouls in 90 seconds in that game that let Florida back in. I don't think Sampson did a good job. Somebody needs to explain to me why Cryer was out deep in that backcourt, almost to midcourt with 16 seconds to go, not initiating something offensively. TV ratings just came out, John. 18.1 million. The world watched it, up 22%. That was pretty impressive. Everybody saw Florida rally to beat Houston. By the way, the women's final, it went from 18.5 million viewership last year to 8.5 million. That's a drop of 53% this year for the NCAA Women's Championship Game. So there was a huge drop-off post Caitlin Clark. Men's basketball is back. So, John, what do you think when you saw Kelvin Sampson stand there with his arms folded, do nothing, and watched his guard accomplish nothing at the end?
Yeah, they were discombobulated. They didn't have any sort of a strategy. They couldn't penetrate. And then that shot at the end where it slipped out of his hand and then he couldn't touch it again because it would have been double dribble. I mean, everything was weird about it, but it was a choke job. I mean, the Cougars had like a 12-point lead in the second half and they just let it get away. And this is supposed to be this tough defensive team. You got a lead like that, you got to bring this thing home. I mean, the fans in Houston must be just so disappointed.
You know, it's really interesting. A lot of people, obviously, were really excited with Houston's guards and how great that defense was and how they forced things. A lot of people don't like Kelvin Sampson. He's got a tacky track record as a coach and kind of as a person. And I've read some of the syndicated basketball columnists nationwide, the opinion he got what he deserved because a lot of people just don't like what Kelvin Sampson has stood for and represented a couple different places that he's coached. That might be cruel. That might be a cheap shot, might be unfair, but there's a bit of a sentiment there. But I was just shocked because I thought Houston, 16 seconds with Cryer and Sharp and Azu. I mean, they got 3 guards that could all score, and they didn't get the ball to any of them, didn't create anything and force anything. I was just absolutely stunned. So you're a basketball fan. Go ahead, fire a 3-point shot, shoot an air ball with an opinion if you want. Want to hear what you got to say. John, final